Look, your hair is your source of confidence. You know what they always say, a man's hair is a man's makeup. But the truth is these bad habits that you're doing every single day are actually destroying the way your hair looks. And it can even make you go bald or give you bald patches, but I don't even want to talk about that. But these are going to be the 6 bad habits that are destroying your hair. Let's get into it. With the first one being, you're pulling your hair out. I don't know if you're nervous or you just have some anxious feelings, but when you're twisting and pulling and playing with your hair, maybe you're bored in class, you have your hand on your forehead like this and you just decide to start playing, rubbing through your hair and just nagging on it. Ultimately, this is just damaging your hair and you're honestly just pulling out your perfectly good hair strands. Trust me, I've been victim to this so many times. Every single day when I was bored sitting in school, I would run my hands through my hair, try and make it look nice and neat. I would be bored and anxious during tests. I decided to start pulling down my hair, down on my head, into my face, and eventually you're just going to pull out all of your hair. We don't need that. We don't need those problems. Piggybacking off of damaging your hair, you're also not even sleeping with the correct pillows that you need to be sleeping with. What do I mean by that? I can almost guarantee that if I walked into your room right now, you're using cotton pillowcases when you fall asleep. Cotton pillowcases and hair are possibly the worst combo that you can have. Just think about it. You're tossing and turning whenever you go to sleep. You have no clue how you're moving when you're asleep. Your body is unconscious. And the friction between the cotton pillowcase and your hair, there's such high friction between that. Over time, it's just going to damage your hair. You're going to pull hair strands out. This is probably why you wake up with the worst bed head ever. So here's a one quick solution on how to fix that. 2 words: silk pillowcases. This is going to be the number one thing that you need to purchase in 2024. Trust me, it's going to change your life. It is so soft and smooth, and especially on your hair, it's going to make a difference. I guarantee if you buy just 2 silk pillowcases, you will feel a difference and you're going to sleep way more comfortable at night. And not to mention, they don't get as hot as cotton pillowcases, which is going to lead me to the second tip. And I know I'm doing it right now, so don't come at me in the comments. And that is going to be wearing hats. And let me be more specific because there's a lot of myths going on around about wearing hats. And just to be clear, a majority of them are false. If you wear a hat every single day, it's not going to make you go bald. You're not going to lose all your hair overnight. But by doing this one thing with hats will make you go bald and you can lose hair. And it could even push your hairline back over time if you have continuous use of this. And that is going to be wearing hats that are too tight for your head. Now, unless you actually can't feel the blood that's going to your head and you start to feel the pumping in between your head, this is when you know your hat is way too tight. All you have to do is just loosen it up in the back or get your correct hat size. But by wearing a hat that is just too tight, you're going to have such force just around your head and especially on the top of your head. If you push your hair back and then put your hat on, if it's so tight, your hair is going to have nowhere to go. So you're just going to be forcing your hairline to be pushed back. I know you don't want to push back hairline. Your hairline is probably cooked as it is. So if you're going to wear hats, make sure they're a little bit loose. They just fit right on top of your head, not too hard, not too snug, but also not too big. And your hairline will thank you later. And actually, if you wanted to be more specific, the term is going to be traction alopecia. Basically, all this pulling and tugging that is going to be within your head and under your hat. This is what's going to happen slowly but surely. Like I said previously, you're going to start losing your hair. Your hairline is going to start receding and then you're just done for. I do not want that to happen. And again, please follow this tip very carefully because this is a common myth that you can't wear hats. You can't wear beanies. Trust me, you can. You just have to wear them the correct way, which is going to move me to number 3 and quite the opposite of tip number 2. If you don't wear hats and you actually like styling your hair, tip number 3 is going to be using too much heat. Using products like the blow dryer, the flat iron, using a diffuser on your blow dryer. These products can literally give you your dream hairstyle. They can make your hair go from straight to curly. You have curly hair, you can want straight hair, it can do that too. However, using these products can come at a cost, especially if you're not using any sort of heat protectant. And so basically at the end of the day, it can give you your dream hairstyle, but if you're not using any protectant, you're just frying your hair literally right off your head. You guys are on TikTok or any sort of social media, I'm pretty sure you've seen this guy right here. He was known for doing haircut tutorials, hairstyle tutorials, and honestly, they were good tutorials, but his hair was absolutely damaged. Every single day, he would use a blow dryer, he would wet his hair, and then use a flat iron when his hair is still dripping wet. Especially if your hair is wet, you're literally just frying your hair right off your head. And honestly, his hair had none of those problems. It was just because he was using all of these products every single day, maybe even multiple times a day because of the videos without any sort of heat protectant. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to end up with that crunchy, dead type of hair texture. So if you're gonna use it, there are many types of good brands that have good heat product. Honestly, if it were me, if you have a sister or a mom, I guarantee they have some sort of heat protectant. Definitely ask them. And just because I love you, I'm even going to link some of the best products to get on this video. You can go ahead and check those out yourself. You're going to be doing yourself a favor. Just trust me. I don't want you to end up like this guy. Which is going to move me to tip number 4. Every single time you step out the shower, you grab that nice hell towel that you think is going to protect your hair and dry off your hair really quick. And it may do that, but what you don't know is that towels actually have a lot of texture. That's why some towels are honestly kind of hard and they're not too comfortable on your skin. Same goes with your hair. That strong texture on the towel is meant to soak up a lot lot of moisture from your body and your hair, but you should not be using these towels when drying your hair, because I guarantee most of you guys step out of the shower, you grab your towel and just immediately start drying your hair so aggressively, and little do you know, you're actually damaging your hair, you're pulling out hair, your hair is literally falling out, and you have no clue. You think by using a towel and drying it off quickly like you would your skin, you can do the same with your hair. Little do you know, your hair is actually wrapping up in those little texture bits on the towel, and then when you pull it away, aggressively dry, move locations on your hair, you're just pulling out your hair. We don't need that. This is why we say, instead of using that towel, or even if you want to use that towel, when you step out of the shower, take that towel and just pat dry your hair very gently, very softly, so you avoid all that damage. Or if you just want to get rid of the towel completely, there are two options. Either one, you can just let your hair air dry, which in my opinion is a personal favorite, because your hair is going to have that perfect nice little shine to it. Unless you have curly hair, I would definitely recommend adding some sort of moisture to that. And then the second option is going to be using some sort of old cotton t-shirt that you have, just a t-shirt that you have laying around, you don't use anymore, you don't wear anymore, it might have holes in it. This is what you're going to use it for. Cotton is way softer material. As you know, you can even feel the textures between a towel and a cotton t-shirt. The cotton t-shirt just has less of that hard, rough texture on it, so it's going to be much gentle on your hair. And even then, I wouldn't excessively dry your hair with that cotton towel. I would still pat dry it. Make sure you're doing it very gently, very softly. Your hair is going to thank you later, which is going to move me to tip number 5, and that's actually that you're not getting haircuts often. You see, not only is it going to make you look fresh every couple weeks or so, and you're going to have a sick freaking haircut, but by not getting your haircut very often, over time, the ends of your hair are just going to get damaged, especially if you wait a couple months or even years before getting a haircut. The ends of your hair are the longest parts of your hair, so they're the parts that are going to be the oldest, the weakest, and the most fragile. Even if you're doing all the right things for your hair, those ends are just naturally over time are going to split, they're going to be damaged, and you're just eventually going to have to cut them off. That's why you always hear barbers saying, oh, you want to trim, we'll just cut off your dead ends. This is because that part of your hair is quite literally dead and you need to get rid of it. And what could happen is, if you don't treat these split ends or these damaged ends, those damaged and split ends can actually travel all the way down your whole hair strand and just make the whole hair strand be damaged. So then you're just cooked. Now you have to actually cut that whole hair strand out. And especially if this happens over time, eventually your whole head of hair will be just damaged, and then you're gonna have to go get a buzz cut, go bald. We don't want to have to worry about that. So instead, just make sure you get haircuts regularly, cut those dead ends off, and you should be good to go. Finally, the last tip in this whole video, and this is the point I hope it doesn't come to unless you're of the older age, but if you do see some signs of a receding hairline, or you see a lot more hair falling out than usual, me personally, I didn't have any receding in my hairline, but I wanted to grow a beard, so I looked up how to grow hair naturally by using some sort of supplements, by using certain products that are going to be good for you, and that is when I came across minoxidil 5% foam and the derma roller. If you've seen my how to grow a beard video, you know these products are going to be 2 key ingredients, and if you watch that video, I did state that this will help you with your balding and receding hairline. If you notice hair recession in your hairline, minoxidil 5% foam 2 times every single day. Minoxidil is going to be that growth agent, that growth stimulant that you need in order to help those hair follicles grow, come out of your skin, and over time, between 6 to 8 months, I guarantee you'll be able to see hair grow. So now that you have the perfect hair, you have a sick haircut, your hairline is not receding anymore, your hair just looks immaculate. All the other areas in your life are probably worked on because you watch my videos every single week. So now it's actually time to go and get yourself a girl. You need a nice little hot mama to be there with you when you're walking in public, when you're exceeding and excelling in life. So lucky for you, I have a perfect video that is some heartfelt advice that I think you should watch. Find that right here. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.